Professor Lloyd, and you're going to be learning about some very fun and interesting things today called Knightmares. Now, who here is familiar with what Knightmares are?
Really bad dreams.
With a K in front.
Well, in a way.
With a K.
Armor Knight.
Yes, they are armored knights, exclusively used by which country first?
Britannia.
Excellent. So,
America.
I have to turn this into Knightmares 102.
Britannia is technically America.
Would you like to?
Just one moment. This is why I need to seal a few things for me. I must take a vacation. I believe I've finally driven home the deep end. Oh, that'd be excellent. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about some of the more interesting aspects of Knightmares, as we're going to talk about some of the aspects of structure and function and the technology. So, one of the most interesting aspects of Knightmares is that they have a humanoid shape and form. Now, when thinking about the humanoid shape and form, it makes them quite versatile for many different elements and terrestrial locations. Now, what do you think the land spinners would be used and good for?
Urban environment.
Excuse me?
Urban environment.
Excellent. Urban environments. Now, as you've probably seen, they're used quite extensively as such, but as they're not really limited with their wheels for the high transit motions, they have feet and can walk, and in some cases, even fly with the right equipment, of course.
Boo.
Excuse me?
I said boo. To the flying.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Now, next up, we're going to talk about the technology of certain land spinners. Now, as you notice that there are certain ways. Now, let's assume this uncooperative microphone, because now it's cooperating, is a type of land spinner. Now, as you can see, assuming this rolls, of course, that it would roll quite straightly. Well, actually, I'll use this, the wall bobble. Rolls across quite straightly and easily. But, as you can see, it can also roll on different dynamics, which allows it to scale all sorts of different surfaces. Now, as you can imagine, that would be quite useful in many different types of environments. Don't you agree?
Okay.
Now, after you see how this we're also going from the ground up, as it were, from here. Now, as you can see, as I just said, you see as they actually go across the spinways, you can see how that can actually even propel them into limited high-end jumps, which would be useful for everyone's favorite pilot.
Me.
Jeremiah Gottwald.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's quite talented, but we're forgetting someone who has...
That's Spinneriki?
Yes!
I thought we hated
And
it.
we're going to get into the Lancelot.
You mean Spinzaku?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Suzaku, who also thinks it was a little funny to get played by all his little fangirls. My ex-fiancée has some little fun things to find with him, doesn't she?
She's straight?
Oh, really? Well, Millie's interested in a lot of different things, but that's what makes her so lovable and fun. But we all know I want her for the Ganymede. Okay, now, we're going to go up into the joints and aspects of the Knightmare. Now, one of the most important things with any sort of vehicle, such as a Knightmare, is the ability to move in various different forms. Now, we've already covered this with the tires for the feet, but as we're going to move with the knees, it allows us to duck and dodge and create all sorts of fun aspects of motion. Now, generally, as these are humanoid forms, they have hinges in generally all the places you would as a human, but with also some additional ball and socket joints where they may not necessarily be, such as in backs and things of that sort, as we're also dealing with slash Harkonnens. And so those could be used accordingly for the intent purpose of, well, whatever you can use the slash Harkonnen for. They're quite multi-purpose. Next up, we're going to get into some of the fun aspects. Oh, apparently they enjoyed out there too. So next up, we have a bit of the fun stuff inside the upper part of the Knightmare. Now, the power source is one of the most important of any Knightmare, and it's what causes all of them to run. Now, of course, we can't have these things run on fossil fuels. That just really wouldn't work. Too much volume and space-wise. So we come up with a nice, interesting way to obtain maximum power output through the best ways possible. You can consult my bundled research papers on these if you wanted to see every little aspect of making these bundled power sources work. But, as you can see, what we really want to get to is getting towards up here where the pilots are. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yay!